Steps for making your flow map. This is going to be a document that I'm sharing with you, and I'll do that today so that you have access to it. But the paper is going to be a flow map, and so I've made that for you, and it will look like this. Okay, so you can see where your name is going to go. When you type your name, it's automatically going to highlight it just to make it stand out a little bit more for us as teachers. And then your introduction, you'll type your introduction in this area. As you continue typing across the screen and you do your 3 to 4 sentences there at the beginning, it will automatically kick down the rest of the document. The thesis statement is another piece that you will need to include, and we're going to keep that a little bit separate from your introduction because your thesis statement needs to be the last sentence of your introduction paragraph. We'll go over the thesis statement a little bit more on Friday or Monday just so that you get another reteach on that since we've only talked about it once. There is a spot on the bottom for your conclusion, to be writing out your conclusion paragraph, and then there's also a spot for your bibliography. We will go over how to create a bibliography with Ms. Hill on Monday so that you know the proper formatting and the proper setup for a bibliography. The part I want you focusing on is the body of your paper. We have 3 parts: the background, information about your country, issue, and NGO. Which one of these parts is the most important piece for your paper? NGO. Something's more important before the NGO. The issue. Good. We started with the issue, and that's where we're actually going to start with writing our paper, because the issue is the main key focus for our paper. We need to have information about why this is a problem and what's going on.
Does country background mean what, timeline or something?
The country background is talking about whether it's geography, government, economy, culture, or history. Which one of those areas are causing your issue? Which one of those are having the effect on your issue?
The one that's causing it, and then you write about it?
Yes.
And then the issue, you write about it again?
The issue is what we're writing about in here, in this paragraph. Yes, and this is our solution, or a non-governmental organization that you started research on yesterday. Yes? Okay. If there's not an NGO for your issue and in your country, then your focus needs to be on an NGO that does exist for your issue. Okay? Most of them, we do have an actual NGO on that issue in that country. If that's not the case for you, you just need to come talk to your teacher. Okay? Okay. So this is what your paper is going to look like where it's completely blank. I did research to help make this process a little bit faster. And so my Cornell Notes, I have a model of them so you can see. And I did research on health in Cameroon, and my NGO was the Peace Corps. So looking through this document, you can kind of see that I have information about the country and what's going on with the people in the country. I did answer my questions at the bottom of my Cornell Notes page. Second source, again, information about health, which was my issue. Answered questions, continuing on, and I believe this is my NGO. Nope, it's actually about my country some more information I found there. And then it'll go into my NGO with the goals and the history of the NGO. Okay, so what I've done is I've taken these notes and details that are on my Cornell Notes page, and I've actually just copied and pasted them into my flow map. And I put them into my flow map so that I would have them all organized here for me. And actually, let me undo some of this. Okay, when I initially started this, I had just copied and pasted all of my notes in here. And you can see in the country background where I've just copy and pasted my notes. In my NGO, I just copy and pasted the key ideas. And I wanted those in this flow map so that I would know what information do I have before writing my actual paper. So when I'm ready to start writing my paper, let's see, I'm actually going to start with a topic sentence. So the topic sentence I have here is the major issue in Cameroon is healthcare. It's letting the reader know that this whole paragraph is going to be about healthcare. And I was making the connection between Cameroon, which is my country that I talked about in the first paragraph, into the issue, which is my second paragraph. I pulled my different facts that I had down here and put them in a logical order for me to progress through my paragraph. They're not necessarily in the correct order when I first pull them up and copy them over into the flow map, so I do have to rearrange the information. Questions about that part. So here's what I ended up coming up with when I worked on all of my areas. And I've put all of my facts into a logical order and kind of linked them together. So in my issue paragraph, because I was trying to connect a lot of ideas, I had to use these words that are in yellow. Does anyone know what these words in yellow are called? No? They're transition words is what we call them. They're transition words. They're helping me to transition or to move from one topic to another. And so the way this is written, a major issue in Cameroon is the health of the people. Since 1990, the life expectancy of the people has decreased 2 years. In 2011, the average life expectancy for a male was 51 and females was 54. This age is a lot younger than people should be living in the United States. Also, so I'm giving a new fact on a new area, so I used a transition word. Also, out of 1,000 births in Cameroon, 95 of the babies died before the age of 5. In addition to another transition sentence to help me click into something new, the low life expectancy, the social conditions are poor. And then I included a quote. So I could continue reading this for you, but I think you can read on your own. I went through and just added my facts, put them into order, and I did have to add in my own words because I did copy and paste from my research. I copy and pasted from my internet source onto my Cornell Notes, and then I took from my Cornell Notes, copied and pasted into my flow map. I can't just reuse that stuff. What is that called when we just copy and paste information?
No, it's called plagiarizing.
Plagiarism. Very good. It's plagiarizing. So I don't want to plagiarize. I did have to reword information so that it was my words and link up my ideas so that they flow from one to another. There's some ideas that I did not find in research. I never looked up what the average life expectancy is in the United States. That's just information I know. So I did add in this sentence comparing Cameroon with the United States. This age is a lot younger than people living in the United States. That wasn't something that I had to research. It's just something I know because of people that I've been around and my grandparents and such, my parents. Okay? So if you know information, yes, that can go into your paper, but you're also pulling your notes and your information from your Cornell Notes to add in and create your paragraphs. Okay? Notice I didn't get all of my notes copied over from the NGO. I just took my main ideas. And so I started working on my sentences, but I didn't have that information pulled up, so I just gave my basic layout of my sentences, and then I'll have to plug in the information into these blanks where I've left blanks. So that's my next step that I still have to work on. Questions? Okay. Your main focus for what you want to get done with your flow map by Friday by the end of class on Friday is you should have these 3 paragraphs written out in your own words by Friday. Your Cornell Notes, you can work on those now, get other pieces of information and facts. You can work on that today and pull those together. When you're writing your body of your paper, you might realize, hey, I didn't find that fact, but it would fit in right in this area, so I better go find it. You can find more information as you're typing your paper, and especially in the body of your paper, because that's where you're giving your information to your reader. So it's at that point when you're writing these body paragraphs that you would need to possibly do some more research and Google something or pull up Destiny and read some more to get the information. Because that's still research, you would still be making that a Cornell Notes. So I'm going to leave your Cornell Notes unlocked where you can still work on them outside of class and in class if you find that you need a fact, and you can still add to them until Friday. But after Friday, I will lock that document so you will not be able to make any changes, and that's what it will be graded as for your Cornell Notes. Cornell Notes will be locked on Friday, and then it will be taken for a grade.
Friday night?
Friday night. Okay?
I'm so confused. Oh. Dude, I showed you.